Hi, this is Brian with Webucator. Today we're going to be looking at a tutorial on animating your scroll to anchor links. Thanks to learnwebtutorials.com, we're going to follow along and take a look at the jQuery that's required to make this happen. Let's switch over to brackets, and here you can see that I've downloaded and set up an index file that is the exact same content that comes from the demo provided by the tutorial. Let's go ahead and launch this in Google Chrome. And if you see here, I have a click here button and I have a come here. And if I click this now, nothing's going to happen because of my window. There's no scroll here. Let me narrow this up a little so that way we can see that when I do click here, it takes us to come here. But the page just jumps. So let's try this to create this exact same functionality, only we want the page, instead of to jump to come here, we want it to have a nice scroll that's going to happen. It will be animated. So let's go ahead and close this. And the first thing I want to do is I want to grab some more content so that way our scroll goes a little further. So I'm going to grab some lorem ipsum. And we're going to paste this into brackets. And I'll create a couple of these just to give it some more spacing. Save that, and now when we look at it in Google Chrome, we have a little bit more content around here, so that way we can really see our scrolling happening. So now let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is we're going to include jQuery, and I'm going to use the Google hosted library. Grab this. And then we'll start up another JavaScript block. And here's where we're going to add the jQuery code that's going to animate our scroll from the click here to the come here. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is we're going to use the dollar function. The dollar function is equivalent to the document ready function, which is shown in the tutorial. It's just a shorthand function that we'll be using here. And inside here, we want to get reference to our link. So our link is an A tag, and the href value equals pound come here. And we want to add a click event handler. And so the code within our anonymous function here will be executed when the link is clicked. And the first thing we want to do is we want to prevent the default behavior that occurs in the browser by using the event object and calling the prevent default method on it. The event object is passed to our function, so let's declare that as E. And on E we'll call prevent default. The next thing we want to do is we want to get the offset, or the number of pixels from the top of the browser to the target. So we're going to do target offset, and that's going to be equal to the anchor where the name equals come here. Once we have reference to that, we can call the offset function on that. The offset function in jQuery returns those number of pixels between the element and the top of your browser. And then we use the top property to get that value. And then we want to set the scroll top property on the body tag. So let's first get reference to the body tag. And then we're going to animate this. So we're going to call the animate function. And the first argument to the animate function is the properties that we're going to be animating. And we're going to be animating the scroll top property. And we're going to set that to the target offset. The next argument is the number of milliseconds for the animation, and we're going to set that to 1000 milliseconds, or 1 second. Okay, let's go ahead and save this and take a look in our browser. Alright, now that we have it in our browser, let's go ahead and click here, and you can see that we get this nice, smooth, animated scrolling to the come here position. Okay, great. That was the jQuery tutorial on animating your scroll to anchor link. And thanks to learnwebtutorials.com for letting us show you this.